Fan. The soundtrack devotes the next few moments to...
Don't pass this tribute to his late friend, for in the song, Ringo sings, "I listen for your footsteps coming up the drive, but they don't arrive. I wonder where you are tonight. Don't pass me by."
I listen for your footsteps coming up the drive. Listen for your footsteps, but they don't arrive. Waiting for you knock, dear, on my old front door. I don't hear it. Does it mean you don't love me anymore?
One of the first signs of dissension in the Beatles were the fierce arguments between Paul and Ringo. Perhaps it was after one of these that Paul stormed out of the studio on that tragic night. And we're hearing of Ringo's sad evening at home, hoping Paul would come over to resolve their differences. He never made it. And Ringo tells us why.
Sorry that I doubted you. I was so unfair. You were in a car crash and you lost your hair. You said that you would be late about an hour or two. Well, then that's all right. I'm waiting here, just waiting to hear from you.
John's deathpan is "I'm so tired."
I'm so tired, I haven't slept a wink.
The real find comes right at the end of the song. A mumbling voice can be heard at the end of this cut and before the next one begins. When this mumbling is played backwards, the voice is very clearly saying, "Paul is a dead man. Miss him, miss him, miss him." The voice is probably John's, though some people insist it belongs to George. Many people point to the song Blackbird. Again, notice the reference to black as a clue to the new Paul's feelings on taking over. Listen carefully to the lyrics. The granddaddy of all the clues comes elsewhere on the White Album. We'll have Revolution number 9 in just a moment. When work's over, interesting aspects of the White Album is a short little song that appears on the record right before Revolution number 9. It does not appear in the list of song titles, nor do its lyrics appear on the lyric sheets.
Can you take me back where I came from? Can you take me back? Can you take me back where I came from? Brother, can you take me back?
These allegorical lines lead into the selection which convinces many people the Paul is dead rumor to be something thought of more than just a series of coincidences. The track is Revolution number 9. In the beginning of the song, one can hear two men quietly talking. They're saying, "Realize, I know all about it, George, and I'm sorry. Do you forgive me?" Yes. Listen carefully.
Let's look out for you if I'd realised. I've forgotten all about it, George. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? Yes.
This apparently is a conversation with the producer George Martin and could be about the placing of clues on the track. Then a voice repeats the phrase number 9 13 times. Listen again.
Number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9.
Why should this phrase be repeated so many times and then again later in the song?
Number 9.
When one plays this phrase backwards, the voice says something entirely different. In A Day in the Life on Sgt. Pepper, Paul sang, "I'd love to turn you on," and now, as if in answer several years later, we hear a voice saying, in a Beatles song, "Turn me on, dead man." Continuing frontwards on the cut, many strange sounds can be heard, including car horns, a car crash, and fire burning. Now, these clues are very difficult to pick out on the radio. So I'll leave it to you to listen to your own version of Revolution number 9. In the middle of the song, a man calmly says he hit a pole. We'd better get him to see a surgeon. So anyhow, he went to a dentist instead. They gave him a pair of teeth that weren't any good at all, so my wings are broken, and so is my hair. I'm not in the mood for words. Find the Night Watchman. A fine natural imbalance. Must have got it in the shoulder blades. This monologue is not constant and is interrupted by horns, screams, and the sound of fire. Other dangling phrases can be heard, such as, "Take this, brother, may it serve you well." Some suggest this may be Paul passing on his fame, talent, etc. to Billy Campbell, the new Paul McCartney. When this song is played totally in reverse, more interesting phrases can be heard besides the famous "Turn Me On, Dead Man." While the crashes, screams, and fire can still be heard, after about 1 minute and 10 seconds, a faint "Let me out" can be heard, apparently from someone burning in a car. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the fire sounds are very clear, and we hear the phrase, "There were two. There are none now." Paul and Rita. At 5 minutes and 35 seconds, we hear someone screaming, "Let me out. Let me out." Depending on the quality of your stereo and headphones, other phrases can be heard, such as, "If you want it, you can prove it," "I'm not in the mood for work," or "Words" from John. This song and the whole white LP became the world's most backwards played album, and indeed opened up a whole new way of looking at recorded music. One thing should be mentioned in this context. It should be understood by everyone that before a record is finally pressed and released, it goes through a cleaning and checking by engineers, and this involves both frontwards and backwards playing of the tapes in order to edit out any stray sounds or noises. All Beatle records went through this process as well. Therefore, we can conclude that all the extraneous sounds and words we've just listed were checked out and allowed to remain on the record by someone in control of such matters. The final album of new Beatle material was Let It Be. The title itself suggests that perhaps the search for clues and hidden meanings should stop when all should just let it be. But due to the nature of the very album itself, it's very difficult. To begin with, it's the only Beatle LP framed in black. All four Beatles are on the cover, but only Paul's picture has a blood red background. The others are white. The title song on the LP is appropriate as one of the final clues presented to us. The song sings about the Heavenly Mother Mary who comes to me in times of trouble, even on that fateful November night in 1966.
When I find myself